This morning, the most amazing thing happened to me. I had the best dream I've ever had in my entire life. And I thank that all to the nicotine patch that I accidentally wore to bed again. So vivid, so real, and it was like just pure bliss and happiness. All perfect emotions wrapped up into one. And I wrote it all down this morning right after I woke up because I knew that I was gonna forget everything in that dream. So I started out on my phone typing it all up, and then I realized I'm gonna forget it by the time I get halfway through writing this. So I got halfway through writing it, and then I switched to my laptop because I can type faster on my laptop, and it's long. So I'm gonna go through this. Just bear with me. It's weird. My brain doesn't think good. It doesn't do good like your guys' brain does good. It's scattered. It's all over the place. It's quick and witty, but also sporadic and manic and depressed and anxious, and I want to kill myself. Anyways, alright, let's see. There's gonna be like cut sections just because I'm gonna have to read this and then verbalize it back to you guys as if doesn't matter. Okay, so it all started out, I was in my apartment, but obviously it looked different. It didn't look like the way it looks now. It was skewed, but in my dream, it looked normal. That's just how it looked, and I just accepted it. And for some reason, I had 2 residents in my house. For some reason, we had an activity, we had like an outing, and they ended up back at my apartment, and we were having tea, or I was making tea for them because apparently I just randomly have a fucking tea kettle in my apartment. Such a hipster bitch. Also, on top of having the 2 residents, I also had a family member's wife here. No, a resident's wife here also, and they were sitting on this couch, this black leather couch, and we were all just talking, and in my dream I didn't realize that, like, oh shit, why are they fucking at my house? Why aren't they at the nursing home? So I remember specifically, it was like 8:30 at night, and we were all sitting here, and they asked for tea. I remember exactly who the residents were and everything. And so I ended up making them tea. Then all of a sudden, just like that, 10 of my friends, it was like 2 really sketchy ghetto friends that I grew up with, came in. And luckily I was on good terms with them. We're cool. I haven't talked to them in years. I know one has been in and out of prison. And they came into my apartment, and I was like, oh fuck, my camera's gonna get stolen. My laptop may as well just be stolen as well. They're gonna mug me. Luckily they came in here and just surprised me, gave me a hug. They came in with like 10 other people that I just didn't even know. They set up 2 huge flat screen TVs in here. They set up a huge electronic drum kit for me, a bass, a new Telecaster that I've always wanted, this like baby blue Telecaster. It just looks awesome. They gave me a huge pile of Xanax, a huge thing of Percocet, and I was just like, what did I do to deserve this? I was in like tears. Like, talk about a good month I was about to have of just getting fucked up and playing musical instruments and just hanging out. And then I realized, like, you know, we were partying and stuff, and a couple of the ghetto friends of my friends started fucking in my bathroom, and for some reason there was a mirror set up to where it was like in a corner, but for some reason I could see them over this like window that was above my bathroom door. I could see them fucking. I don't know why that was part of my dream. So I was watching them fuck, and I was just like, they gotta go. I have 3 residents sitting on my couch right now. There's Xanax right here. There's Oxycontin, or Percocet, oxycodone. There's weed laying around everywhere. People are smoking blunts for no reason. And at this rate, I'm like, I'm fucked. Like, sweet, I got a bunch of drugs and a bunch of musical instruments. Awesome. But I'm probably gonna get fired. Luckily, the residents that were here had Alzheimer's, and I knew that in the back of my head, and I was like, they won't remember this. We'll get back to the nursing home. Everything will be fine. And yeah, so I ended up being like, I'm sorry, you know, 5 minutes after they show up, they brought all these sweet gifts. I ended up being like, sorry, you guys, you have to go. I have to, oh no. What happened was my mom called and was like, let's go to Perkins right now. At this point, it was like 8:35. Like I said, 5 minutes have gone by. And for some reason, that was like urgent. I had to go meet my mom at Perkins. I told her I was on my way. I'm leaving soon. Like, let's go. So I ended up kicking those guys out. And as I was kicking them out and I shut the door, all of a sudden I realize, oh fuck, the 3 residents are gone. I'm freaking out. At this point I'm like, oh my god. The greatest night turned into the worst night. I'm definitely gonna get fired. The residents are lost. They don't remember where they stay. They have Alzheimer's. And in my head, I just thought, okay, they went with my sketchy friends, and hopefully those 3 residents remember where they live, and hopefully my sketchy, high, drug-infested ghetto friends drove them back to the nursing home, and everything was fine. That's kind of just what I was hoping for in a perfect world. Okay, so all of a sudden, it was the next day. Randomly, it just like happened like that. All of a sudden, the sun was out, it was the next day, and I don't even remember going to bed. It was just, yeah, it just happened like that. And I was standing like over by my bed, and keep in mind, I live in a studio, so it's like an open space, you know what I mean? And I look over here and my mom's just sitting like right there. And right there is where all the weed is, all the Xanax, all the Percocet, and she's literally like sitting on it, like like a pool of drugs she's just sitting on. And I'm trying to convince her, or no, I'm trying to distract her from the fact that, Mom, I didn't take any of those. My friends left them here. I'm holding them for my friends. My friends just left them here. Typical like teenager excuse of like, oh, I'm just holding it for a friend. So yeah, and I don't know why she was over, but that's when I was like, yeah, she came over wondering why I didn't go to Perkins. So then I was like, yeah, I'll leave right now. I will meet you there. So she ended up leaving. As she was leaving, she went out a different door. Keep in mind, I only have one door in my apartment. I don't know. But the door was like over there in a corner behind like my closet, and I was like, holy shit, I never realized I had another fucking door here. She closed the door, and right as she was closing it, my neighbor came up and was like, did you take my 5 keys? I don't know why I remember her saying 5 keys. I think it's because I have 5 keys for my work keys. I don't know. I'm putting in a lot of details that don't really matter just because I love reminiscing about this dream I had. It was fucking amazing. So yeah, my neighbor came up to me. She's like this blonde, hot girl. And she was like, did you steal my 5 keys? I was like, no, I didn't steal your 5 keys. I'm not a fucking thief. Why would I need your 5 keys? She's like, okay, all right. Like giving me the like, yeah, okay, I know you stole them, but I'll just walk away and leave you feeling guilty. And so the guilt-infested me just was like, listen, lady, I didn't steal your keys. Why would I steal your keys? As she was walking away, I was saying this, trying to convince her otherwise. Then she started realizing like, okay, you didn't steal my keys. And she was walking like down these spiral staircases down to the lobby. Apparently I live on the 2nd floor now. Who knew? And then as she was like getting down just to the last stair to turn the corner, as I'm like yelling down there that I didn't steal her keys, I go, but I'll give them back to you tomorrow when I see you. Jokingly, you know, stupid, witty, sarcastic me. Oh, man. You guys probably already clicked off the video already, but let's just keep going. So after I said that I would give her keys back tomorrow, jokingly, I went to shut my door to my apartment, and she ran up the stairs like, do you really have my keys? I need my keys. And I'm like, no, I was kidding. And she's like, oh, okay. And then right as I went to shut the door, I was like, or was I kidding? And then it happened again where it's like, do you really have them? Or are you just joking? And I was like, no, I'm kidding. Or am I? And I did that like 5 more times because I thought I was, you know, really funny. I'm not that funny. And so yeah, that happened. I don't know what that had to do with any part of the dream. It just was in it, and I thought it was really funny. So that happened, and then all of a sudden I realized that I need to find out if the residents made it home to the nursing home. So I'm walking outside, and for some reason my apartment is on the University of Minnesota campus. There's a stadium over here. It's on a hill, and it's like University of Minnesota Day. Everybody's wearing maroon and orange, or yellow. What are our colors? Gold? Maroon and gold? Something like that. And everybody had like face paint and really festive shit, where I'm in my like hipster douchey cunt clothes, walking around searching aimlessly for residents that God knows where they are at this point. They could be dead in a ditch. I don't know. So yeah, I'm walking around. It's sunny out. It's summer. It's warm. Everybody's happy. It's just amazing. For how stressed I am in my dream, there's still like a sense of just happiness and humor to it, where I'm just like, everything's fine. Yeah, it was amazing. Okay, so at this point I'm walking outside. Part of me, keep in mind, the whole time I'm freaking out, not just about the residents, but that I need to meet my mom at Perkins ASAP. For some reason, I'm dead set, like, I'm not flaking out on my mom. I needed to meet her there. you know, after I was searching around for the residence, I ended up calling my mom and being like, Mom, I'm sorry. Everything's going wrong. I cannot find these residents. I will be there as soon as possible. I'm so sorry. And for some reason, this is the weirdest part. My mom was completely fine with it and was like, yeah, don't even worry about it. I'm just gonna sit at Perkins. It's no big deal. And I was like, okay, I'll call you in a bit. She's like, yeah, no problem. I hung up. I still keep looking for these fucking residents. We're nowhere to be found. And it's getting to a point where I'm just like, they probably made it back to the nursing home. You know, otherwise I would have gotten a call from my boss by now. At this time, I think it's like noon or 11:30, and I'm just kind of like giving up at this point. I feel like the people in my apartment, like my neighbors, are probably like, what the fuck is this kid talking about? He's on so many drugs right now. Alright, so I'm walking around outside. Like I said, it's summery out. It's like warm and it's amazing. It's sunny. Everything's good. Everybody's laughing, happy. And I'm walking around and I just had hung up the phone with my mom telling her that I would meet her at Perkins. And all of a sudden I hang up the phone and I'm like, I get yelled at by someone and I realize that I'm in the middle of a fucking movie set on this green pasture outside in the summer. All of a sudden the director was like, you! Sit on the ground. And I'm like, okay. So, obedient me ends up sitting on the fucking ground. And all of a sudden, I was in the middle of a war. There's a tank in front of me. There's people with guns and they're shooting. And I didn't realize it was fake gunfire. So I saw cameras on me though. And I was just like, oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck. I'm in the middle of a movie set. I'm getting shot at. I'm like ducking. I'm like covering my head, trying not to get shot. There's literally tanks shooting at me. And explosions and shit. And then all of a sudden it stops. And I'm just sitting there frozen, just scared shitless. And he's like, go up there. And I like look up and all of a sudden there's like an elevator at the top of this grassy hill. And he's like, get in the elevator. And I'm like, yeah, okay, I'll just get in the fucking elevator because the director told me to. So I go up and it's like a mining cart and the cameras are following me. I get in the cart and it goes like down this hill, this grassy hill. And as I'm going down, I call my mom again and I'm like, look, Mom, you're not gonna believe this, but I'm on a set of a movie and I will be there as soon as possible and I'm so sorry. And again, she was like, yeah, no problem. It's no big deal, really. And she's like laughing and I was like, God, she must be drunk. She's gotta be drunk. Otherwise she wouldn't be this cool about this. So after I got done on the mining cart, whatever the fuck that was, I got out and I'm trying to find my apartment. And I realized that I've never seen the front of my apartment. And for some reason, I always just in my dream, always went out the back door and never looked at the front of my apartment. So I was like, fuck, there's like 10 apartments lined up on this hill and it could have been any of them. And I'm just like looking around, I'm asking people, I'm like, hey, do you know which apartment's mine? Thinking that they would somehow be like, oh, you're Jake. Yeah, that one's yours right there. No, I'm walking around aimlessly and I'm going down these stairs. There's a lot of hills in this fucking dream. I don't know what that is. I'm walking down these stairs and for some reason there's a lot of elderly people with walkers and wheelchairs, and I'm walking down these stairs and all of a sudden there's like a million people and there's just like an avalanche of people just falling, and this guy, this old elderly guy, falls on top of me, loses his walker right when he falls, and we're falling and I'm like scraping up my knees, but I'm holding him up and I'm like, you're okay, dude, you're good, everything's fine, you okay? As we're like falling for like probably 20 seconds in dream seconds. And the whole time I'm talking to him, trying to like comfort him and just be like, you're okay. As like my knees are bleeding, I'm like scraping my feet, I'm like bloody and gross, but everything's still happy and it's fine. And I'm just like, you're good, dude, you're okay. And he's like looking into my eyes and he's like, yeah, I'm okay, thank you so much. And after we got done falling down this like endless stairs, I get up and I'm like, I'll be right back. I'll go get your walker. Are you okay? Everything's fine? And he's like, yeah, I'm good. Thank you so much. So I go and try and find his walker. And I'm walking back up these endless stairs that just led to just nowhere. And I get up there and I'm looking for his walker. And then I kind of am just like, I can't find his walker. Sorry, I can't find it. And I forget about it. I end up calling my mom again and being like, Mom, you're not going to believe this one either, but I just fell down an avalanche of people and I'm looking for this guy's walker. I'll be at Perkins in a minute. I swear, I'm so sorry. And again, she was like, no problem. Hang up, everything's fine. Okay, so I'm walking around up that hill and all of a sudden I realize that I'm in the front of a restaurant and all of a sudden a car pulls up and I realize I'm in the middle of a path a certain pathway that's like gated off, and I'm right in the middle in the way of everything. And the Queen of England gets out of this limousine, and I'm right in her way, and I'm walking in front of her, walking into this like 5-star classy ass restaurant. It's the Queen of fucking England. I'm shitting my pants right now. And I'm walking in front of her, and as I try and get off the path, like sneak through a gate to get out of it, a guy like pulls a cart and like gets in front of me, so I have to like keep walking down the path. And at this point I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Am I being like everything that could have gone wrong has went wrong that whole dream. But it was like the funnest, happiest, funniest dream ever. It was like amazing also. So I'm walking, I'm just like, this has got to be a joke. Like everything has gone wrong. I'm supposed to be meeting my mom at Perkins, and everything is getting in the way from me getting to Perkins at this point. First is the residence, then it's my drug-infested ghetto friends, it's the movie set, it's the avalanche of people, everything has gotten in the way from me just getting to fucking Perkins and eating with my mom. Like, I just want some goddamn Eggs Benedict, okay? So yeah, the Queen of England is walking behind me, and we're walking into the restaurant like at the same time because I think that's respectful, and I'm just trying to show some respect for the Queen of England. I don't know. We get into the restaurant, and all of a sudden there's a girl there in like a butler outfit, and she's like coaching me on how to hand a tray of food to the Queen of England. And I'm like, why am I doing this? I'm just some random guy with scraped up knees. Like, what am I doing here? Why are you telling me how to do this? But they have this cart like they have in the nursing home that they bring up on each floor to hand all the residents their food. And for some reason I grab her food. She's like, yeah, that's the Queen's tray right there. So I grab it. I set it down for the Queen, who has like her own little table right in front. And she's like, take off the lid. The butler calm down, Jake. The butler told me to take off the lid. So I took off the lid, and it's just like, it's like super fancy food, but it's like really small amounts like they do at like fancy restaurants, and it's like mush. It's like gross pudding white mush with like dots on it and shit. And the butler was like, you have to tell the Queen what she's eating. So I'm like, oh yeah, because that's a thing. I'm just, you know. And in my head I'm like, oh yeah, duh. But really, is that even a thing? I don't know. Yeah, so I ended up being like, this is... And the only thing that I could recognize on the plate was a tiny piece of cucumber amongst all this mushy, gooey shit. And I'm like, yeah, so that's cucumber there. And I hear the butler like laughing at me, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? I feel like I'm being set up. And I'm like, and I start laughing, I'm like, and that's like some mushy white shit right there. And the Queen was like not having it. She was super snobby, as a queen would be. I'm like, I don't know, I'm sorry, I don't even know why I'm here. And the Queen's looking at me like, well, what's in the other plate? And there was 2 plates. I took off the first one, that was the mushy cucumber shit. And all of a sudden she's like, take off the next one. And so I took it off, and it said, this is where I lost it. This is where all the things in the dream came together in one moment, and it just blew my fucking mind and made the whole dream just worth it. I took it off, and it said, welcome to YouTube. I don't know why that gave me chills, but it said welcome to YouTube with like the YouTube sign, and I lost it. I realized the whole time, this whole dream, I've been on a like reality prank show that YouTube set up, and I just lost it and started laughing. Everybody started applauding and being like, yeah, yeah, and like laughing and shit. And I realized I'd been set up the whole time. And as I was laughing and stuff, I like fell to my knees, and I instantly just started crying hysterically, because I realized that this is gonna get millions of views. YouTube was gonna put this on their like channel, and everybody was gonna see my channel, and I was gonna be able to do YouTube for a living. And I just lost it and started crying hysterically because I realized that I just got my dream job of working at YouTube. And yeah, it was, I don't know why it almost brings me to tears just thinking about it. It was like the most memorable, epic dream I've ever had in my entire life. Remembering lifting up the lid on the plate and seeing welcome to YouTube. It was like such a memorable, historic moment for me of just like, wow, they set this up for me. And in my head I was like, I do like Kratom reviews and say cunt and shit, like why are they promoting my fucking channel? But yeah, that was my dream, and I woke up after I stopped crying, and I just wrote all this down. I just felt like I had to share it with you guys, and I don't know, you guys probably aren't even watching anymore at this point, but I just had to share it and just get this on camera, on film, just because it was so amazing. And I hope that YouTube sets up this elaborate prank for me one day just to make my channel explode and give me the most amazing day ever, from getting Oxycontin to Xanax to weed to not being able to go to Perkins with my mom to me losing 3 residents to me falling down an avalanche of people to being on a movie set to, it was just crazy. It was fucking nuts. And yeah, that's the video. This is a long video. I usually don't do long videos like this, but I hope you enjoyed it. I am doing a, actually I'll just show you guys on Monday. Have a good weekend. Bye.
To the city, I only say I love her when I wanna fuck her. I only call her pretty when she's taking out the cities. I only say I love her when I wanna fuck her. I only hit her up when I'm taking drugs. I only hit her up when I'm taking drugs. I only hit her up when I'm taking drugs. I only hit her up when I'm taking drugs. Spend all my daddy's money making sure my notes stay right. I only say I love her when I wanna fuck her. We pop a couple Xannies, now she's taking off her panties. I only say I love her when I wanna fuck her. I only hit her up when I'm taking drugs. I only hit her up when I'm taking drugs. I only hit her up when I'm taking drugs. I only hit her up when I'm taking drugs. I only hit her up when I'm taking.
Okay. Alright, you got this, Jake. You're a good YouTuber. Fucking lights being all fucking gay and shit. I should just leave all this shit on me, just talking to myself like a fucking retard. Yeah, let's do it. Make yourself look stupid on the fucking internet. Hi! I just start off the video like all energetic. Hey guys, welcome back to my fucking channel. Some people have like inner dialogue. I have outer dialogue where I just talk to myself. I don't like this. I feel like people are watching me. Well, I feel like I talk to myself constantly. If Darwin had a voice recording thing attached to her, you guys would hear some fucked up shit. Okay, so last night, I have dandruff everywhere. It's like my biggest insecurity. Why is that fucking thing? Why do I have to have the steam radiator that sounds like it's fucking whistling to me like a fucking drunk, fucking creepy guy? I'm not an object. Oh, I have to get my laptop too. I'm a mess, you guys, alright? Leave me the fuck alone. Shut up. Ah, Jesus Christ. Get a hold of it, Jake. You got it. Just wrap it up, tell your story, get it over with, put it on the internet, and be done with it.